Greetings, it's your buddy, your pal, your friend, your teacher, your guide, ABW, and I wanted to just give some practical game, because I think it's important to just be. Mac is a man of aptitude, charm, and knowledge. You're well-rounded, young fella. When you're a Mac, you're a well-rounded guy. You know about the art of negotiation. You know about contracts. You understand how to do your business. That way, you're not. If you're hiring people, there's checks and balances. You know what to look for. You know not to get left over. So, and anybody who is a part of my community, who is a part of my mentorship, consultations, we talk about a lot of things, and we talk about practical things, and uh, you know, money and relationships are at the heart of what makes us, what creates a fulfilled life for us. And you got to get your money right. Basically, you got to do things in a systematic, goal-oriented way. You need to have knowledge and aptitude around that to navigate that to your advantage. When it comes to gaining financial independence, we can talk about ownership, we can talk about a number of different things, but there's always a time to work, no matter what. At the end of the day, it comes down to work. Whether you own the work, whether you are contracting out the work, you're doing the work of contracting out the work, or you're doing the actual fulfillment and performance of contract work. And there's always contracts involved. If you are, I'm a proponent of moonlighting. I'm a proponent of entrepreneurism. There's always a need for a balance between the hardcore hustlers and the entrepreneurs, and the regular people. People who may not be at the top position. You might find themselves having to work your 9 to 5, things like that. So I am a proponent of, if you are out there hustling, always keep you a little something like a 9 to 5. I mean, not a little part-time job. I'm a fan of anything you can get tips on, anything you can get commissions on, and I'm a fan of flexibility. I'm a fan of convenience. I'm a fan of just a lot of autonomy too while you're there. So I like valet jobs. Uh, I like valet jobs, and I like, not for me personally, but I like the idea for especially for young guys, any guy really at any age. It's never a bad time to humble yourself and pick up a little gig, and get you a reliable paycheck. Sometimes you find yourself, you gotta just kind of start from square one, and nothing wrong with getting an honest day's work, but you want it to be beneficial for you, and you want it to always be able to maintain your sanity. And going back to contracts, I came across this because I was considering picking up a little ballet gig, and I came across when they had me signing the onboarding policies and procedures and documents. They wanted to, the HR lady I was assigned to. I understand the process of onboarding someone for your company as an owner, as someone who's been the owner and a partner in, for instance, a home healthcare agency. A lot of documents, a lot of statements and policies and procedures, knowledge acknowledgement forms of different type, right? Paperwork that needs to get done, and the more systematic that you can, that was part of my job, was being able to set up the system around it. A lot of times, it takes someone who's an outside consultant so that they can see it not from the inside, the way you've been conditioned to perform the job. Someone who comes from an outside perspective can show you, okay, I understand what the end goal is with your process. Let's put it down first on paper, and let's actually make turn it into a machine to where it works by itself. And so I understand an onboarding process, and it still takes someone, um, an actual person, to kind of just facilitate that along. But the software, the system, the way the forms are set out, it works for itself. But as I'm going through the system, which is a beautiful system, and I'm actually taking notes on how they do the system, I see this form that they want me to fill out, confidentiality form, and I see some things that just don't sit right with me to actually sign. And so I've actually pushed back on that because I really don't care about getting this job. I don't. If I get it, I'm gonna pimp it. I'm gonna, milk it to my advantage. Depending on the location, it'll give me the access to get a paycheck and still do my thing and it not really interfere. Sometimes I am not bored, but sometimes I need I need something to get me in a different environment, a different space. Ideally, if I could have it really set up, I would be literally generating income around the clock, and that does happen with digital products that I have. That does happen with being able to get lump sum checks from deals. And so in a sense, the money is always circulating, but ideally I would love to have just online sales, just residuals just pumping. Um, that's why I love the idea of owning so many different companies. I just love the idea of just cash flow just churning, right? And so when that's not happening in those periods, that's what makes me consider getting a job, to where it's like, okay, I can still, jobs like this, I can sit down and still write, create content, but it's on someone else's clock. That way I'm still generating the income and I'm maximizing my moments because I'm creating something. I'm working for someone else, but then I'm creating something for myself. I'm not just on their time. You know what I mean? So I like jobs like that. So if I have to be on someone else's clock, I'm going to make sure I don't neglect my own clock. That's just my philosophy around employment, Unless it really is, worth it while I'm on their clock, it's more lucrative just for me to be on their clock. If anything less than, for me, you got to set your price. Anything less than theoretically $75 an hour is probably a good rate for myself. Anything less than that, then it doesn't make me consider my time any less, or it doesn't outweigh my time, because that's my going rate for myself, $75 an hour. I feel like that's let's see. I'm not saying I make that, but you understand what I'm saying. $1,800 a day, man. So, well, let's be realistic. Even because it's a global economy, right? So, and I have a lot of contacts overseas. I'm a big believer in virtual assistants and just taking advantage of the global economy, the global workforce, and the economy of scale that goes with that. And if I even still, there you could say with the global economy, it's a 24-hour cycle, right? Or it's a 24/7 market. But then again, there's inevitable days where just commerce just doesn't happen, right? Most days, right? Let's say out of 365 days a year, let's just say there's 10 strong days where just commerce doesn't happen. So 355 days. Let's say 15, goddamn. There's 350 days of true commerce. 350 times 1,800. 630,000. 630,000 a year. Dig that. So when you break it down like that, to make $75 an hour, $1,800 a day. $75 an hour. Anyway, I was just thinking about that. Just really, $75 a day just coming in. I mean, $75 an hour just coming in. You really think about it like that. Damn, every hour somehow. Yeah, see, that's why I think, 1 hour 2 hours you may devote to doing. Well, 1 hour you may devote to doing consultation. So my going rate for right now for an hour consultation would be anywhere from $75 to $150, depending on what it is. So if I do a 1 hour consultation, I charge $150. I just doubled up on my hourly rate. You can do that, but at minimum, $75. Still, at a minimum, I'm at my minimum allowable income rate. Then the next hour, say I get that hour and I double up, and so I don't theoretically want to take off in the next hour, but it puts me at an advantage. And so that second hour, I might make 2 sales from a $40 product on e-commerce store. Man, that's 75 plus. That's 8. That's 75 plus 5. In the next hour, then the next few hours just come in. The sales come in like that. Then I do another consultation. It's 150, so I'm up. I'll double up on another hour, and then sales just coming all over. I'm just thinking about it. Anyway, going back to contracts. So, moonlighting, working for a company. Read the contract, man. I'm giving them pushback right now because I really don't care if I get the job. I just want to kind of just want to push my limits because I've never really done this before as an employee because I haven't had a job in a while. And I'm not pressed to get a job, honestly. No, I'm not pressed to do anything. And that's not to say, that's not speaking from a arrogant point of view or presumptuous point of view. It's speaking from walking in my blessing that I know that God always has for me. That's not to say that the journey is not without bumps. So that's why you always have to humble yourself and consider different paths until new breakthroughs and new accomplishments happen. So I'm a believer in that and taking whatever opportunities come your way. But never getting presumptuous and never getting too high, never getting too low. So that's what it comes down to me when I talk about employment. So, but reading this contract, there was something in it that I just did not, I don't agree with. Let me see, this is the non-disclosure. Basically, they don't want nobody to go out, and I understand it, but kind of like a non-compete language is like a non-compete. I understand they're talking about company trade secrets, but there's something down here. I understand not somebody, and they don't expect it, but goddamn it, I've actually thought about starting a valet service because the concept of it is easy. Now that I've worked for a couple of different valet companies, I see what the game is. It's a sales game. sales game, and then after that, just being able to deliver. Um, as far as ownership and management, and yeah, when it comes to looking over the paperwork, there's right here it says allow the company's representative termination of employment. Allow the company's representative to inspect employee's personal desktop computer, laptop computer, thumb drive, or any external hard drive to determine whether any of the company's trade secrets or confidential information reside on said computer or drive, and to remove any such trade secrets and or confidential information. I don't rock with that. I'm my personal. I don't agree with that. Especially if I give no indication that so I don't agree with that. And then I don't agree with. So I told them that, and they haven't heard back from him. So maybe they're just like, fuck this nigga. Who the fuck this nigga think he is? And then this one is an employment acknowledgement. And it says, I waive any right or claim to participate in or receive benefits from Marriott or the hotel owner for any time period during which I am an employee of this other company. Like that. So again, it's a competition type product. It's a competition type thing. And I know it's kind of petty. But I just want to, really, I think it's important to keep every now and again for a civilian to keep these corporations on their toes. That's really how class action suits and shit pop off. You find the right little loophole. I don't know if you ever seen Charleston White talking about him. I don't know if you ever seen Charleston White talk about how he sued some different a few of his employers for some kind of job malpractice, whatever. He's done that a few times. I thought that was pretty clever. I'm hate to say I'm not even gonna say it. This is your buddy. I hope that was valuable to you, though. The moral of the story is, don't just sign anything. Stand up for yours and push back on certain things, man. Know your paperwork. Know your paperwork. That's the main game. Know your paperwork. Look after your paperwork. Take advantage of paperwork. Push paperwork in front of somebody else. Don't always have people pushing paperwork in front of you. Learn how to structure some deals, push some paperwork in front of somebody else, and say, look, man, I got this idea. Let's do this. Push some paperwork in front of them. See what happens. It's worked for me, man. It has worked for me. And that's what the mindset of a Mac is, man. That always elevating your mind. Do some different shit, man. This shit that everybody can do. Stuff everybody can do. But yeah, that's part of being a man of aptitude, charm, and knowledge, man. You know, go ahead and put some paper in front of somebody and man, get you some ownership or something. This is word to the wise and word to myself. And so I'm glad y'all rock with me. In His name, let the church say. Y'all like, share, subscribe, comment. Hit me up for consultations, man. I got a lot of free game. Let me know. We working. I know we working. We rocking.